Minnie, you be nice to your sister. Hey, what did I just say? Be nice. Hey, watch it. You okay, Sofa? You be nice. Hi. Here comes the cat. Minnie. Good boy. Ow, that's hot. Burn my fucking lip. Hi, Sofa. Hi, welcome. Come here. Sweet girl. She is very loud. She is all I hear because she's purring. Minnie, don't you bite on her. I will kick you out. Okay. Minster. Come. Minnie. Watch the attitude. Sorry, the cats are... Well, one's not being nice. Minnie. Sofa baby, come here. Let's go see your mama. Come here. Ooh, I get you. Let's go. Hey, G. I'm back. Are you done being an ass? Okay. Covered in hair. It's still hot. I'm Minster. I might move you guys. I don't know. No, actually, it's a map I made of literally not even half of my book, The Crown's Throne. Yeah, it took me all day to do that and then write everything. Mostly just putting it all together took all day. You're actually the first person to ask. What you staring at? Oh, tired kitty. Hi. Come here. Can I pick you up? You want love? No, you just want pets. Okay. What are you doing? Hang on. Thought I got a text. Guess not. Sweet boy. Yes, I have. I've been writing since I was a kid. That's what my whole channel is about. What are you staring at, baby kitty? Fuck. Can I boop you? Babe. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you there. What, Minster? Are you staring at your shadow? He's the weirdest cat ever. Hi. I'm gonna wait for a few more people to drop in. It feels weird standing because I haven't done like a standing story time live for like ever. A what box? I've never heard of that. I've actually been considering making a pirates map. That's a cool username. Oh, bless you. I might sit down because I feel like I'm annoying everyone with just moving around. I actually have a cursed pirate story. Love that story. Hi. Okay, yeah, I'm sitting down. Hang on. Yeah, I just wanted to stand because I wanted to switch it up a bit, but here we are. The cat is just staring at me. He's a cute kitty. I also have tea for the story. Why are you staring at the door? Weirdest cat ever. I've just been like sipping this periodically through the life. I made it a couple minutes ago, it's still hot. Yeah. I do storytime lives. Oh, the cat that's in here currently, his name is Minnie. We call him Minster, or Minster Man. We even sing Monster Mash. We changed Monster to Minster, so he has its own song. It's adorable. He is one of the cuddliest cats in this house. I swear to God. Oh, fuck. My shoulder popped. Hang on, let me adjust you guys one more time. There we go. He's just staring at me. Hi. I might take this hood off because I move around a lot, so yeah. There we go. Now it won't get in my face. What, sir? Again, he's just staring at me. He's super cute. With cats, it can actually be taken as a challenge if you stare directly at them. That's why if they're like staring at me and they like do that slow blink thing that they do, I do it back so they don't feel like threatened. And people even say that you're supposed to do that. Such a sweet cat. I think we can get started. I think a lot of people, it's not even the time I normally go live, so a lot of people might just be busy. Normally I go live at like 9, it's 6. Okay, grab a blanket, grab your tea, and just cuddle up. Riker stood as Tiki jumped to her feet. Can I help? No, Tiki answered, more abruptly than she meant. I've got to go. Her eyes found Riker's for just a second. She was surprised by the compassion she glimpsed there. Her breath caught in her throat. Hurry, Teek. Toots tugged at Tiki's arm. She grabbed Toots's hand, and they raced for home. She glanced over her shoulder once to make sure Riker wasn't following them. She didn't trust him enough to let him know where they lived. Please let her be okay. Please let her get well, Tiki whispered as they ran back to the abandoned clockmaker's shop. She gasped for air. They slid They slid into the little room. It was. I can't talk again. Oh, that was already there. Oh, whoops. Okay, where was I? It was as though a clamp had tightened on her heart. Tiki hurried to Fiona's side, where she sat cradling Clara in her lap. She's hot, Teak. I think she's got a fever. Tiki leaned down and put a hand to Clara's forehead. A deep foreboding. What? A deep foreboding filled her when she felt how dry and hot the little girl's skin was. Mr. Lloyd's warning. What the fuck kind of word? Oh, reverberated in her ears. I haven't been able to English very well recently, so sorry. Toots hovered near Fiona, looking over her shoulder at Clara. His face knotted up with worry. Last year, before my mom told me I was old enough to live on my own, one of my little brothers had a coughing sickness. And what did she do for him? Fiona asked. There was a long silence before Toots answered. Oh my god. She buried him. Clara's breath came out in a slow, raspy gasp and gurgled into a cough. Tiki? Her voice was so weak and low Tiki could hardly hear her. The little girl opened her eyes just enough to make sure Tiki was there. A small smile filtered across her face, and she reached up. Who's that pretty lady with long blonde hair? The chick's back. For those of you who don't know, there's this chick that has blonde hair and just randomly disappears. I have a theory that she is a fairy. I also have a theory that the main character is a fairy. But we will see. Tiki leaned down to Clara so Clara could wrap her scrawny arms around her neck. Even the skin on her arms felt hot. What blonde lady, Clara? Tiki asked. Clara spoke slowly, every word an effort. She's in the corner. Can't you see her? Fiona looked up at Tiki, fear in her eyes. There's no one in the corner. Is she dreaming? Oh. Tiki shook her head. She must be. It's from the fever. What do we do? Seamus has gone over to Cheapside. No telling when he'll be back. Tiki's stomach churned. What could they do? An image of her mother and father flashed before her eyes, dying in their bed of consumption, wasting away to nothing. She hated doctors. They'd been no help when her parents were sick. Memories surfaced. The sharp features of Miss Thorndyke. That is a weird name, but to me it's weird because I've never seen it, but it's okay. Her strict governess, who had moved in with their family during her parents' illness. The woman had been cold and heartless, not allowing Tiki to see her mother and father, even to say goodbye, telling her their bodies were contagious. Tea break. Tiki swallowed the lump in her throat. Her life before was like a distant dream now. Everything had been so easy when she'd lived with her parents. Hot food every day and clean clothes, servants to help with the cooking and cleaning. It was inconceivable that she would one day steal bread and pickpockets to survive, but lately her memories of her life before were beginning to fade. Images of those she cared about in the past were being replaced with Clara's face, and the others, she didn't know if it was good or bad. Hang on, I can see like my phone going off. Okay. Sorry, I keep getting texts. There's a place up in Bloomsbury. Tiki smoothed Clara's hair back from her face. A hospital for children. Mr. Lloyd told me they'll help her. Clara's thin frame was racked with another coughing spasm. Sorry. The blue veins in her eyelids that showed through her thin skin, and the dark circles under her eyes made her look half alive. How will we pay? Toots asked. His eyes were wide and worried as he peered up at Tiki, his freckles stark against his pale skin. Well, I'm glad you liked this story. If you want to get caught up, there is an entire playlist on this story. But those story times are like always lives. Okay, where was I? Don't worry about that. Oh my god. I was cuddling with dogs before this, sorry. I went up too far. Don't worry about that, Tiki said, fear settled in the pit of her stomach like a snake coiled and waiting to strike. We'll find a way, even if they had to pawn the ring. She began gathering the scraps of blankets they had collected and tucked them around the little girl in Fiona's arms. We'll have to wrap her up and try to keep her warm. It's bitter cold out there tonight. I'm going to put my dress on too. Maybe that'll help when we ask the hospital to take her. Once she was changed, Tiki donned. What? I think that's how you say that. I have no idea. I do. I woke up really, really early. And then I was cuddling dogs after this, so that made me extra tired. Just having like weight on me, especially like a furry little buddy that's just laying there, makes me so tired because it's so comforting. Anyway, Tiki donned her. Yeah, I think that's how you say it again. I've never seen it. They do. They really do. Sorry, I can hear the neighbors. Tiki donned her cloak and took Clara from Fiona. The little girl stirred but didn't come fully awake as Tiki easily lifted her slight weight. Toots, why don't you wait here for Seamus to return so you can tell him what's happened? You're not leaving me behind, Toots replied in a belligerent tone. Sorry. Clara might need me. Tiki smiled at the young boy. Of course, you're right, Toots. Grab your hat. As they emerged into the alley, rain fell in a light mist. The wild weather from earlier in that day had dissipated, but now the night air was so cold that the drops froze when they hit the ground, marking the cobblestone making the cobblestone extremely slippery. Oh my god. Hang on, give me a second. I'm hoping this tea will wake me up because it's green tea. Tiki readjusted her grip and picked up the pace, Toots and Fiona close on her heels. Clara's frail body began to shiver in her arms, and Tiki tried to move faster. They cut across the front of the station and headed for the Strand, ducking their heads against the freezing rain. In her haste, Tiki slipped on the icy ground. She clutched Clara tighter in her arms, landing with a cracking thump on her hip. Her breath exploded from her chest in a sharp gasp. "Teak," Fiona cried, reaching down to help her up. "Are you okay?" "Yes," Tiki muttered. She clenched through her teeth against the burning pain as Fiona and Toots helped her up. She took a few limping steps, Clara unconscious in her arms. "Let's keep going." Already she could feel her arms beginning to shake with the cold and the strain. Hang on. I hear a little paw at my door. Come on in, Sofa. Come on, baby. Do you want your brother? Okay. Let's get you to your brother. You be nice now. Okay. I'm back. I can hear her purring from here. There is always interruptions, whether it's a video or if it's live. Always interruptions. But that's okay. There are always adorable interruptions. But at least the cats know to knock. Okay. Already she could feel... Oh, I already read that. A shout came from behind, but Tiki didn't slow. "It's Seamus," Toots said. "Teak." Seamus's breath came out in small puffs of white air, lit by the glow of the street lamp. "What are you doing?" Did my thing just go off again? Dude. Oh my god. I don't know if you can hear that, but she is so loud. Yeah, it's really only her that'll knock. The other ones will just reach their paw under the door and just claw at it, or just yell at the door until I let them in. I keep the door shut when the dogs are here, because one of them shit in my room. But when they're not here, the cats are free to go in and out as they please. Sometimes I wake up and there's just my brother's cat just at my fucking head on my pillow. Yeah. They do it to my sister's door too. When I'm in there talking to her with my brother too, I just see this paw just attack the fucking the carpet. And it's always either Bean or it's Minnie. The other ones just meow and yowl at the door. Aside from Moo, she'll meow and knock, but she'll be persistent about it. What are you doing? Oh, Seamus, thank goodness, she breathed. Riker told me to get home. Seamus's worried eyes went from Tiki's face to the bundle she carried, and back again. Where are you going with Clara? She's got a fever. Tiki's voice was rushed. We're taking her up to Great Ormond Street. Again, I don't know how to pronounce this, so I'm probably butchering it, so... There's a hospital for sick children. Is she that bad? Yes, Seamus, Fiona said sharply. And she's getting worse. Seamus glanced at Fiona, but directed his comment to Tiki. We run the risk of losing her if we take her there, you know. Hospitals won't give up orphans to other... Hospitals won't give up orphans to other orphans. His voice was thick with warning. They might even want to know... They might even want to know about us, where we live, who cares for us. Tea break, hang on. It's not hot, but it's still good. Sorry, I can hear my sister moving. Here comes Nacho. Well, she went somewhere. Okay. Where the fuck was I? Okay. Tiki shook her head and started walking again. She didn't want to hear what Seamus was saying. We have to take the chance. She's burning up with fever. Nacho's at the door. Yeah, I can. I love those dogs so much. Seamus reached forward and took Clara in his arms. Let me carry her. Tiki didn't want to relinquish her hold on the sick little girl, but it was a relief to let the weight of her body slip into Seamus's arms. He held the small, shivering child close to his chest as Fiona tucked extra blankets around her. Seamus's long hair was soaked. Sorry, the dog's doing something. Seamus's long hair was soaked from the rain and plastered to his head. We better hurry. There's bloody few cabs out tonight. Oh. Hang on. He's having anxiety. I have to go get him. Nacho! Nacho! Come here! Dewey, if you're gonna be in here, you're not gonna shit on the floor. Go on in. Yes, thank you for the hug, baby. Nacho, baby. Look at that. He's literally just outside, dude. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, Nacho is one of my sister's corgis. She has another corgi that is named Yoda. And the other dog here right now is a golden retriever named Dewey. They both want their mama and she's just sitting outside. They are clingy, but they're both a year old, so it makes sense. We better hurry. There's bloody few cabs out tonight. It's too cold and icy. As if in response, a deep, hacking cough that seemed to reverberate in the air around them rose from the pile of blankets that Seamus held. baby. I know. I love all animals, but corgis, I just love them so much because they have little tiny legs. I love anything that's smaller than it's supposed to be. Oh, thank you. It's not actually mine, it's my nephew's. But I'm going to buy a blanket. Eventually. Plus, they have like a million blankets. And this one is my sister's. Okay, where was I? We'll go east and cut over. Okay, this is a new casino doggy casino working. A new city. Jesus. I have no idea how to say this. I really don't. So I'm just gonna say Alwich. We'll go with that. Tiki said. Then head north to Kingsway. That's the fastest route. We should be able to get there in an hour. Dude, why are you so loud? The long walk to the hospital rattled Tiki's nerves. Cold dust hung thick in the air, making it difficult to draw a deep breath. Clara coughed often, but never woke once to ask where they were going. They turned on South Thompson Place and what the Sorry, my brain's not working. They turned on South Thompson Place. It literally says South Thompson Place. Okay, whatever. And stopped to ask directions from a milk woman collecting her cans for the day. I thought this took place in medieval times. Like the first few chapters, it sounded like it took place in medieval times. Anywho. It's the white brick building down there, dearies. She adjusted the wooden yoke over her shoulders. Churns on each side swayed. They only take very sick children, though. Tiki thanked the woman, and they continued down the street at a faster pace. White columns framed the stone steps leading up to the entry of the 3-story hospital. Tiki... One of them's in trouble. Tiki led Seamus and the others in through the front doors. They passed a room full of people. Some of the men were sitting, others were leaning against the wall, many holding their hats. Women sat with children clutched in their arms, trying to ease their suffering as they waited to be seen. Muffled sobs could be heard, and the strident cries of a sick child rent the air. The despair that filled the room was palpable. A stern-looking nurse in a black dress covered by a white apron and wearing a long white lace cap on her head eyed them from behind the entry desk. Tea break. The more warm it gets, the less I want to drink it. That's okay, it's still good. Excuse me, ma'am. Tiki took care to speak clearly. My little sister is ill. Would it be possible for a physician to look at her? The woman frowned as she eyed Tiki. Where are the children's parents? Before Tiki could reply, Clara began coughing. The nurse rose and walked to the bundle Seamus held. She peeled back the tattered blankets to look at Clara's face. Her capable fingers resting on the little girl's forehead. Then she stepped away and disappeared into another room. It was only a moment before she returned, pushing a gurney. Oh, Dewey's in trouble. Yeah, we don't have any of those. It was like boiling when I made it. Because our microwave does that. Like you put it cold water, if you put cold water in the microwave for like a minute, you could like cook pasta. Okay, where the fuck was that? Put her on here. Seamus stepped forward and gently lowered the bundle in his arms to a flat surface of the movable bed. He straightened the blankets around Clara's face, pulling them clear of her mouth. The nurse pulled a device from around her neck, sticking 2 tubes in her ears while she placed a horn-like instrument on Clara's chest. After listening for a moment, she pulled the tubes from her ears and moved toward the end of the gurney, forcing Seamus aside. The waiting room is down there. She pointed toward the room they passed. Tiki threaded her fingers and clutched her hands together tightly. What is wrong with me right now? Thank you for your help, ma'am. I'm just gonna blame it on being tired. Oh, I didn't see that. I actually don't know. It was here before I got here, so I don't know. I mean, it rips easy, so I'm guessing not much. But I could be wrong. The woman looked Tiki up and down. Her eyes skimmed over Toots, Fiona, and Seamus, then returned to Tiki. Your parents will need to come in and discuss payment. She gestured toward the waiting room. Now go there and wait for me. I'll be needing information in a bit. But this one is too sickly to wait. What did you say her name was? Clara, Tiki whispered. She bit her lip hard so she wouldn't cry. She was torn between fear of losing Clara and relief at knowing she would be getting the proper care. You better pay for Clara. She's going to need it. You better pray for Clara. She's gonna need it. I don't know why I didn't see that R. Then with quick, efficient moves, the nurse pushed the gurney down the hall and disappeared between the 2 squeaky doors. What the fuck? Okay. Tiki moved towards the other room, her thoughts on Clara. Taking the little girl to the hospital was a risk, but if she didn't get the proper care, she might die. Why can't you do super chat? I have no idea. I don't know. My channel has a lot of problems with YouTube because YouTube thinks that I am much younger than I am. So it disables things all the time. It makes problems for subscribers and comments and videos and all this stuff. But I haven't had problems recently. But I don't know why you can't make a super chat. I honestly don't know. What do you think? She cast a worried glance at Seamus. She doesn't sound good. I've heard coughs like that before. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. He shoved his hands in his pockets and his shoulders sagged. When my father used to force me to mudlark with him. What the fuck? My father used to force me to mudlark with him down on the Thames. He said some of the dead bodies we pulled from the river had died from coughing up blood consumption. Is this what? I think this might be medieval times, but what threw me off is the mention of taxis. Okay. Tiki fought back a shudder. Her parents had died of consumption. I hope I am saying that right. I really hope I am saying that right. She would never be able to erase the sound of their coughing from her memory. She tried not to allow herself to think the possible outcomes. We had to do it, Seamus. Where'd they take Clara? Toots's voice wavered, and he rubbed his eyes with a grumpy hand, ducking his head as though he didn't want Tiki to see his tears. Tiki slid her arm around his thin shoulders. They're going to keep her here in the hospital and help her get well. Whoa. Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hi. Welcome in. For how long? I don't know for sure. Maybe a few days. Tiki glanced in at the shifting crowd of people in the waiting area. A lone figure stood unmoving in the corner, staring at her. Tiki stared in surprise. She recognized those blonde curls. That exquisite face. It was the girl from King's Cross. Seamus? Tiki hissed. She tugged at his sleeves. What? She tilted her head toward the room, not wanting to give away her interest in the girl. Do you see that blonde girl in the corner staring at us? Oh my god. Cool drawings in the background. Thank you so much. I need to add more to the wall. I haven't drawn in a couple months, actually. I've been too focused on writing. But one of my brother's favorites is this one right here that you can't see. One of my favorites is the one I drew of my dog. Yes, we love support. Yeah, I miss you guys too so much. It's been a while. Surprised that's not ripped. Yeah, I wanted to put her paw print on it, but one, she wouldn't sit still, and two, we didn't have ink, so it's just a rough silhouette of her. I have a lot of dark drawings that I did not put up. I actually found my talent through art from my dark drawings. Anyway, I'll go back to the story, sorry. Seamus was silent for a moment as he peered at the crowd. No, where? Tiki jerked her head up, intending to point out the girl, but she was nowhere to be seen. A chill crept down Tiki's arms. She scanned the entire room, but the girl wasn't there. Unnerved, Tiki grabbed Toots' sleeve and steered him out the door. They needed to get out of there. Come along now. As underage orphans had not relatives, none of them could stay and give information without risk of being taken themselves. If they were sent to the orphanage, they would be separated and put to work in different places. They might not ever see each other again. Tiki had heard the tales of workhouse jobs that included I cannot say part of this word on here, so I'm just going to say okram, picking and stone breaking, and not even being paid a wage. For the back-breaking work, but given day-old bread instead. She had heard that the masters of the workhouse liked to beat the children. Her father had raged against the unjust conditions in the workhouse enough for her to know it wasn't any place she ever wanted to find herself or anyone she loved. Yeah, it was a pun, but it's also just like a rough sketch that I did. When I say rough with a drawing, aside from that drawing, that was a pun, but also indicating that it's just a rough sketch. When I say rough to a drawing, it's just a rough sketch that I did that I just thought it was better than the finished product. The image of stone block cell shrouded in shadows formed in her mind. There was one alternative to the orphanage. That was prison. If she got caught stealing the queen's ring, the workhouse might look like an inviting option considering what she'd be faced with. Conditions in Newgate Prison were said to be unspeakable, where rats feasted on your flesh and the cries of the insane kept you awake at night. Well, it was funny. Okay. Tiki shivered, a fear filling her. What? Tiki shivered, a fear filling her like she'd never known before. For the first time, she truly grasped what a dangerous game she was playing with the ring. Once they were outside, Tiki took Toots' hand in her own. Clara's going to be back home with us soon. Do you promise, Teak? The hope in his voice had put an ache in her chest. Oh, cool. We're almost done. Tiki whispered a silent prayer. Yes, I promise. The hospital's going to make her well, Fiona said, sliding her arm around Toots' shoulder. Well, now what do we do? Seamus asked. We might as well head back home, Tiki replied. We've got more coal, and we'll be able to build a bigger fire. She raised an eyebrow at Toots. Maybe we can even get some warm pea soup on the way home. Toots' face lit up. Do you think so? I'm gonna pause right here. I love Toots so much. He just sounds so cute, so dorky, so innocent. It's just adorable. Oh, you guys are dying, but you got like another hour before you fully die. And we're almost done with chapter 8, so. Yes, I think we've still got some bread and cheddar in the cupboard. Tiki forced a smile. Clara will be home with us before you know it. Hey, you there, a voice interrupted their conversation. Tiki glanced over her shoulder. The nurse in the black dress stood at the entrance of the hospital, staring at them. I told you to wait. I want to know where that child has been living. Run, Tiki cried. Toots, Seamus, and Fiona all bolted in different directions. Everyone knew to split up. The way they were, that way they were harder to catch. Tiki ran hard, ignoring the startled looks of strangers. It felt good to run away from her sadness and fear. And that is the end of chapter 8. It's cold now. He is not a book crush. I just think the way they describe him, that he's just... In my head, he reminds me a lot of my character, Vamila's little sister, because of the way they describe him. And he honestly reminds me of my little sister, too. Yeah. They're a lot alike. That's why I said I like him, because he's just... He reminds me of so many people in my life. It's so cute. That is the end of chapter 8. I will be back tomorrow with a chapter 9 and possibly chapter 10. I'll try to do 2 live streams. I say try because every time I say I will, I never do 2 live streams. But I will try. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, my beautiful raindrops. Stay spooky, stay weird, stay dreaming.